let's talk to Jacob and hear why people should be believers.
Okay, great. Let's do it.
Hey, Jacob, you are live on Chewed Gum with Promise and Alyssa. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
Doing well.
We're good.
That's awesome. So yeah, I'm shy. So so I have a couple points on why people should be believers. So my first point is that
real quick, Jacob, just for clarification's sake, be believers in what specifically?
God.
Okay. Is there a specific God?
Actually, no, because my beliefs are like a mix of Hindu and Christian, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint.
Those are very contradictory beliefs. Okay, so you just think people should believe in a God or gods in general, and you don't really care which one or anything like that.
Well, so I don't know. Hindu is almost monotheist in a way, just because a lot of the gods are really just a representation or avatar of the main one. So a lot of them just kind of fall out of that. So,
okay, let's hear why we should believe that these gods exist.
So, because there is a lot more in life for in our experiences than just like the material world. Things like awe and wonder and love. Those are almost like transcendent feelings that speak to a more complete human experience than simply just being here materially in the world.
Why?
I'm not sure I understand.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that that feelings of awe and wonder are more, I think you said the word complete in comparison to what? And why do you think that points to something other than the material world?
Because it offers a more complete human experience. Because somebody who's focused on like the material, because somebody's focused on material, they may not feel those things like awe and wonder and etc.
Jacob, I feel those things every day, all the time. I don't need to believe in a god or any gods to feel awe and wonder and love and peace and joy and sorrow and all the things. These are just human experiences. So again, I'm trying to get to the part of why do you think that points to there being any gods?
Just because there's like a unity of those experiences. Like for me, it seems to be something beyond those that unifies those, kind of like an interconnectedness, I guess.
So you're saying seems to be. I guess I feel like you're calling in kind of just telling me, well, these are things that I think, which is cool, okay, but I'm not getting to the part, and maybe Alyssa's picking up on something I'm not, but I'm not getting to the part where it's, okay, why should other people believe this? Like, why should we believe that an entire god or gods exist?
Yeah, this feels a little like when we have these conversations and we like kind of go in a line of questioning for a while, and it ends up resolving in, well, I have faith that this is true, and then that's sort of like where the conversation dies. So I'm originally what the like call note was. You were explaining why people should be believers. And if we're saying we can experience awe and wonder without needing to believe in a God, what other reason, or what does having a God involved in our lives how does that create awe and wonder in a different way? And actually, I would even argue that it does the opposite, because you're giving me reason for why things on Earth, like are the way they are, like the mysteries of life, like the purpose or whatever. Where when you don't have that, when you don't know what happens after you die and you don't, whatever, that feels more like awe and wonder to me. Surrendering to what we don't know.
Yeah. And just the organicness of everything. Like, that's way cooler that Earth took so long to be what we see now. And as opposed to some guy just, and there it is. But Jacob, does that make sense? Our question, we're really just trying to figure out, like, not necessarily why you're like, well, I think it's a good idea because of this, but we want to know, why should other people believe what you're saying?
So I guess my main point is just like a higher being can just create those and connect those experiences.
How do you know that
for me though? Is like,
but so again, we're saying things, but then we're not giving reason why we should believe that. How do you know that a higher being exists, much less can create anything?
So, I don't know. In some sense, I don't really care what you believe, but in the other, because that's where I was like, I'm a soft theist. I'm not dogmatic, but, so like I could bring in like the cosmological argument. I think where you had like Brian or something on like another video, and that's actually what drove me to this channel. But like, because you're talking about trees and seeds and how the seed grows into the tree, which came from another tree, and you trace that back through like the trees and seeds evolved into what they are, and then across like millions of years of evolution on Earth and the 4.5 billion years of the Earth forming and 14 billion years for the universe. You trace all those causes back. Eventually, you're going to run up against, okay, well, what was the first cause? What initiated the entire process?
And how did you determine that it was a god?
Something must have done it.
Why?
I mean, we can talk about it.
Why couldn't the universe have always existed in some form or another? So, yeah, Jacob, I think we're reaching a point here. Like you said, you could cite the cosmological argument, and there, we've addressed that so many times because it's not an argument, it's an assertion, and the problem is you're basically saying we don't know an answer to something, and so I'm going to fill in the blank with therefore God, instead of just being honest and saying, well, we don't know. We really don't know. We don't even know what the possibilities are. So I appreciate you calling in, but I think you might want to be a little better prepared next time, and you're welcome to call in sometime. But I think we're reaching a point where it's just now we're, like you said, cosmological argument, and literally look at the trees, which is just, those aren't arguments. That's an inability to be comfortable with not knowing something. And I'd rather just be honest and say we don't know. Alyssa, do you have any questions for Jacob? You're muted.
Sorry, I was coughing. I'm on the same. I'm on the same page.
So, Jacob, how does it sound for you to maybe go rethink kind of some of this and call back when you're better prepared with just some solid answers as to like why we should believe that there is a God?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Okay, cool. All right. Thanks, Jacob. Thanks for calling.
Right.
All right. Yeah. As much as I would love to do the cosmological argument over and over and over again, as soon as it starts turning to look at the trees, then I really, not that that's what was happening there, because actually I think he was just getting to the point that there's something created all of this. But again, it gets back to the same thing.
Yeah.
We do have another theist. Shall we?
Hey, it's Jimmy Snow here. I'm the executive producer on the line with a fun fact. Did you know 100% of the hosts of this channel enjoy eating? It's true. And if you would like to help contribute to their ongoing addiction, you can do so by going over to Patreon or becoming a channel member. There are show-specific, host-specific tiers. Those are awesome. But also, you can leave a super thanks with a special little highlighted comment. You can like, comment, and subscribe. All of those will help fill our whittle bellies. By the way, check out some of this content over here. Algorithm, what next?